Hey guys, it's Bonnie. Today I'm here to do the mid-book year freakout tag. That was wrong. Hey guys, it's Bonnie. Today I'm here to do the mid-year book freakout tag because it's the middle of the year and I'm freaking out. This is an older tag, but I've never done it and I've seen a lot of people doing it lately, so I thought, why not do it? I will leave the creators of this tag down in the description. Question number 1 is the best book that you've read in 2017 so far. I would have to give that to Akamath, or A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. This book, I'm sure you've heard a million people rave about it, but this is just such a phenomenal book. It blows every other book that Sarah J. Maas has ever written out of the water. I don't know how she pulled out this stunning book, but she did. It's beautiful and amazing, and I love it. The next question is the best sequel that you've read in 2017. I think mine would obviously be Akamath again, although honestly, I kind of consider her a standalone because she's just so much better than her entire series. So because of that, and for the sake of mixing it up a little, I'm going to go with Wayfair by Alexandra Bracken. I read this at the very beginning of the year in January when it first came out. This is the sequel to Passenger, and it is also the conclusion, and I really enjoyed this book. I love Alexandra Bracken. She's one of my favorite writers, and I loved Passenger, but I loved Wayfair even more. There was something about it that made it feel very different from Passenger. It felt more fast-paced, and I just loved the relationships that blossomed in this book, whether it be, an actual relationship or friendship or whatever. I loved it. It was so great. It's very chunky, but I got through it pretty quick, and yeah, if you haven't read this series, it's just a duology, I recommend it. The next question is a new release that you haven't read yet, but you want to. There's a lot of books that I could mention for this question, but I'm going to go with the one that I actually own, and that is The Song Rising by Samantha Shannon. This is the third book in the Bone Season series. I'm not sure how many books are going to be in it. I think maybe 6 or 7, so we're around the halfway point. I read both the Bone Season and the Mime Order last year in 2016, and so I was very excited to get to this book, but then when it was released, it took a hot minute to get here because I ordered it from Book Depository so that I could get this edition, because they did do a cover change, but they have limited quantities of the original look, and it was already sold out on Amazon, so I had to go to Book Depository, and they took a hot year to get this edition, but it did eventually arrive to me looking beautiful, and she's signed, so just A1. But I think because I was hyped up for the book when the actual release date was, the fact that this got pushed back and got sent to me later kind of put it down a little. I was reading other things then, and I just haven't gotten to her. But I really want to because I really love the series and I want to know what happens next, so this will probably be a book that I read very soon. The light is so bright that I'm seeing pink. Question 4 is your most anticipated release for the later half of the year. I'm not entirely sure what my most anticipated release is. I don't really have a big one this year that I feel like I do most years. So I'll name a couple. I guess the Kale book in the Throne of Glass series from Sarah J. Maas. I mean, this series has gone downhill, but I love Kale Westfall. He's my favorite character, so a whole book about him. Give it to me. Highly anticipating The Language of Thorns by Leigh Bardugo and Wonder Woman Warbringer by Leigh Bardugo, just because I love her and I love anything she does. And again, Alexandra Bracken, I love her, so I'm looking forward to her new one, The Dreadful Tale of Prosper Redding, I believe it's called. It's a middle grade, so I'm not really sure what to expect, but like I said, one of my favorite authors. Gonna be excited for it. Number 5 is the most disappointing book that you have read thus far this year. For me, that is unfortunately Talking as Fast as I Can by Lauren Graham. I listened to this one on audiobook and I was so excited for it because I love Lauren Graham and I love Gilmore Girls, but it just didn't really do it for me. It took her a while to talk about Gilmore Girls, and I was hoping that there would just be more of it in general. And I don't know, I just wanted more from the book overall. It wasn't bad, but it just didn't meet my expectations because they were so high, and I just love her, and I just wanted more. Question number 6 is your biggest surprise, and for me that is Dreamland Burning by Jennifer Latham. I picked this up on a whim. It's just an arc that I got from the novel. Thank you to the novel. And I didn't really know much about it, but it seemed interesting. So I just kind of went into it without knowing much, never read anything by Jennifer Latham before, but this was really good, so it really surprised me. The next question is your favorite new author, whether it be a debut author or an author that you just never read before, which me. For this, I'm going with Nicola Yoon because I started out the year reading Everything Everything. I read it on January 1st, finished it on January 2nd. Then I went straight into The Sun Is Also a Star. Read it on started on January 2nd, finished it on January 3rd. Her books are just so easy to fly through. They're fast-paced and fun and heartwarming, and the characters are great, and yeah, definitely my new favorite author, and I'll buy anything that she writes. Question number 8 is newest fictional crush. I mean, Rhysand, High Lord of the Night Court. Is there another choice? Also Lucien, because I love him. He's my son and my dad at the same time. So either one of those characters, but Rhysand. Question number 10, your new favorite character. Lucien? Yeah, I'm gonna say Lucien. I mean, at first it was Rhysand, and he's definitely up there, but I don't know, especially after Akawar, my love for Lucien has grown so much. I'd die for him. The next question is a book that made you cry. I could probably say this for almost every book I read because I cry very easily, but I'll just go with the one that there is proof out there of me crying to, and that's Akawar, A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas. Check out my Snapchat reaction if you want to see me actually crying. Next is a book that made you happy, and for this I'm going to go with Scrappy Little Nobody by Anna Kendrick. I listened to this on audiobook, of course, because I want to hear Anna Kendrick narrating it. This book was just about her life and the things that she's gone through growing up as, you know, someone in the spotlight. Anna Kendrick is so funny and I love her, and there were moments in this book that I genuinely laughed out loud as I listened to it, so yeah, this one definitely made me happy. Question 12 is your favorite book to movie adaptation. I haven't really seen many book to adaptations this year. I think the only one that I've seen is Everything Everything, and honestly, I wasn't a big fan. It just didn't translate well into film for me. I loved the book and I think they got great actors that really portrayed the characters well, but I don't know, there was just something about it that didn't translate. So I guess I would go with 13 Reasons Why. That counts. It's a TV show, but it's an adaptation. It's been forever since I read that book, so I can't really compare accuracy kind of thing, but it felt very close to what the book was. I know that people have some issues with it. I can't really speak on that myself, but I thought it was a well adapted program. Netflix always does a good job with making things look good, you know, from the cinematic standpoint, whether you enjoy the content or not. I wrote down these questions very quickly, and the next one just says favorite video, and I don't know if that means favorite video that I have done or favorite video that I've watched. Either way, I really don't know. I think my favorite video is probably, again, my Snapchat reaction to Akawar because never done anything like that before and it was a lot of fun. Next is the most beautiful book that you have bought this year, and for me that has to be Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. This book is she's a little dusty, but she is so stunning. I mean, first you look at the outside cover and you're like, oh yeah, that's gorgeous. Then you take off the dust jacket and she's even more beautiful. She's so intriguing. She has all this mystique and just interesting stuff to her, and she's just beautiful. I have not read this book yet, and I know I'm like the only person in the world not to have read it yet, but I am looking forward to doing so, and she's just so beautiful. I'm just gonna stare at her the whole time. And finally, the last question is a book that you need to read this year. For this, I'm going with The Glass Castle by Jeanette Walls. This is a book that I picked up years ago for $1 at a library book sale because I heard Jennifer Lawrence was going to star in the movie adaptation. And that did end up changing. She's no longer starring in it, but Brie Larson took her place, who I also really love, so regardless, I would have picked this up because Brie Larson was starring in the movie adaptation. And when I was sitting in the theater for, I don't know what movie, I think Everything Everything, what do I see play? The trailer for The Glass Castle. I did not realize they were this far in the movie making process. But yeah, there's a trailer. Woody Harrelson is in the movie too, who I also love. It's coming out in August, so I need to read this like very quickly because I obviously want to read it before the movie comes out, and I obviously want to see the movie, so gotta read this one. Okay, that is all the questions for this mid-year book freakout tag. I have not read many books this year, and it's very sad. I really need to pick it up. I just haven't been in the mood, so that's why I did this tag, just to remind me that it's mid-year, so get on it. But that is all I have for this video. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!